Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to season 2, week 31 of the DC Sports Digest. It seemed like a pretty quiet week, but actually looking at it and making these slides, it actually looked like a pretty successful week, especially for these other DC Sports teams. So without further ado, let's just get started. Starting with the Nats, they had a pretty good week this week, 5-game win streak. They won the O's and the Braves series, and lost the first game in the Giants series to get them to a 23-28 record after being 19-27 last week. So that looks a lot better already. Unfortunately, Dylan Cruz and Jacob Young both hit the 10-day IL, but that did allow us to see Robert Hassell and Dalen Lyle impress in their debuts. They both got a hit on the first pitch they saw. Hassell even stole a base. So that was great to see. Great to see the depth we have. And it's going to be an interesting question to see what happens once Cruz and Young come back, because they're only on the 10-day IL, so it's only a couple games they're going to be out. So we'll see what happens, see if Hassell and Lyle can prove themselves. But really, if there's family ties this week, obviously you saw Robert Hassell and Dalen Lyle's families were there. But also Keibert Ruiz, his family was able to come to the U.S. for the first time and see him play, and he was able to impress, get a hit, and with them in attendance, that was just amazing to see. I'm really happy for them. Really happy for the family ties this week, which is always great to see. Offense looked pretty good. Also, the 5-game win streak after the 7-game losing streak not too long ago, so that was great to see, but that was stopped by the Giants in a loss. Giants may be a better team than us, but I don't think they're much better. Definitely could have been a winnable game, but just couldn't get any offense going, and the bullpen allowed a few runs, and that was it. We lost 4-0. So just coming up this week, the Giants series finishing. Hopefully we can get a win or two in that. Then series against the Mariners and the Diamondbacks starting this week. That's all I got for the Nats. A little bit of news for the Wizards. Congrats to Alex Sarr for making the All-Rookie first team and Bub Karen for making the All-Rookie second team. So great to see their hard work paying off, and hope to see them continue to improve in their sophomore seasons. Like I said, mock drafts in a few more weeks. Maybe I'll just wait for the end of school, do like 1 or 2 mock drafts because the draft's coming up in about a month, June 26th. So can't wait to see what we do for that draft. That's all I got for the Wizards. Just a small bit of news for the Caps. Also want to congratulate Alex Ovechkin for winning the Mark Messier Leadership Award. He's been doing great things, obviously on the ice, also off the ice too. So that is great to see. Congrats to him again. That's all I have for the Caps. On the Commanders, actually do have a decent bit of news for them. First news is the NFC East will be on the in-season edition of Hard Knocks, the show. So it really gives everyone behind the scenes access on what's going on during the season. I have not watched it because I don't have HBO, but if I get it, I will definitely watch it, and this will be really exciting to see what's going on in season. NFC East is going to be a battle this season. We could potentially have 3 playoff teams. I wouldn't be surprised if we do, and the Giants could still be a little competitive. So I'm really excited. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the show. Also want to congratulate Josh Conley, signed his first contract, fully guaranteed 4-year, $15 million contract. Really impressive to get that. Especially as a fully guaranteed. And there aren't many first-round picks signed. I mean, there's still some time before training camp, but I think Navy's like the 10th first-round pick signed, so there's still a lot of guys that need to get signed, but glad to see him signed and locked up. Terry McLaurin also missed one of the practices during Phase 2 of the off-season workouts. So maybe means an extension's coming soon. I think they've had good conversations, and I think it's going to happen. It should not be anything to worry about, so we'll see what that extension is. I would assume it's north of $30 million, and he definitely deserves it. So I'll be excited to go when I get that notification that he's extended. I will definitely break that news here. So yeah, stay tuned, and hopefully no issues with that. A lot of rule change discussion as well. I think one of the smaller ones, they had onside kick a little easier. You could also now declare it whenever you want, not just in the fourth quarter. That's a small one. The rule change the Lions proposed they took away was to change the playoff seeding. Basically meant they didn't want to playoffs in the playoffs because they got embarrassed. So that was kind of funny. But they took away that to reseed teams after the first round. But they took it away. It's no big deal. The big one was the tush push, brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it. It's still going to stay. Votes were 22-10. They needed 2 more votes to ban it, but it's not getting banned. I don't really know how to feel about it, but I don't know. We voted for banning it. So obviously you don't want to give them, at least want to make it harder for the Eagles, I guess. But we'll see what happens in the coming year. See what happens with that. I don't really know. I don't know what to say about that because it's an interesting argument for both sides. I'll just say that. Coming up, we have more minicamp and off-season workouts. We just finished, like I said, finished phase 2 of off-season workouts. Phase 3 starts this week and goes into next week. And then the week after that, we have mandatory mini camp, and then really we're radio silence until training camp. So that's all I have for the Commanders. Pretty busy week for them. Other DC sports news, like I said, we've had a lot of teams had pretty solid weeks this week. So starting with DC United, they tied Nashville, but beat Charlotte in penalties to advance in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. So that's really great. They've don't have to worry about it for a little bit. They play Nashville in July, so stay tuned for that. That'll be pretty exciting. And then they have games this week against the Red Bulls and New England, continuing their busy schedule. Old Glory DC on a 3-game win streak right now, so that's great to see. Beat Carolina. They have games today against New England. Washington Spirit tied Utah and then beat Seattle, but they have a little break until June 8th. DC Power tied Fort Lauderdale. They have games today against Tampa. DC Defenders had a clutch interception against Arlington, who was driving, trying to get another score to either tie or win the game. That got them into the playoffs, so congrats to them. They have 2 more games this week against Houston tomorrow and then St. Louis next Friday before playoffs. So good luck to them. And Washington Mystics, they beat the Sun, lost some really close games to the Valkyries and Aces. Kiki Iriefan continues to impress. 3 straight double-doubles is really great. And then games this week against the Mercury, Fever, and Liberty. That's all I have for DC Sports News. Like I said, very successful week for them. Weekly awards, game of the week, I'm giving it to DC United beating Charlotte in penalties to advance to the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinal. Just a big game and a big result to continue moving on in that tournament. Player of the week, give it to Kiki Iriefan. Obviously, like I said, 3 straight double-doubles. That's really impressive, especially very early in her rookie campaign. Got to give honor mentions, too, for Robert Hassel and Dale Lau for making their strong debuts. They both got hits, and then Hassel got a stolen base. Also scored the winning run on the walk-off game in his first game against the Braves. So that was great to see as well. My team weeks give me the Nationals for a 5-game winning streak, really getting back on track, and they are almost up to 3rd place. They're a game and a half away from the Braves for 3rd place in the division. So that's great to see them, come back. That's all I really got for this week. So check out the Instagram, and thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.